shut up. I'm a tipper. Yeah, I'm a big tipper. I'm a tipper. I'm a big tipper.
They say the rap game dead. I object. That's a low blow. Taking copycatting off each other. That's a no-no. Keep this original or just not even no show. I'm a big tipper. When I spend it, I'ma flip ya. So girl, drop it really low. Show them how we for the flow. Candy yam and stick and ball. Feed me and give me more. Haters gon' hate when they see us running state to state. The way that we be tipping, man, up this on some other shit. Down on this dude. What you mean? That's another chick. Coming in, going out on some other shit. Try to rip us off. Best believe it, that's a no-go. Never trust nobody, even family, that's a no-no.
I'm a tipper. I'm a big tipper. I'm a tipper. Yeah, I'm a big tipper. I'm a tipper. I'm a big tipper. I'm a tipper. Yeah, I'm a big tipper. Put up or shut up. Put up.
Welcome to the Power of Voices and the Comedy Hour Live. Yeah, and it's me, Annamarie. That was my opening song from Yahweh Poetic, Big Tipper. You can download both albums are on iTunes, Spotify. Actually, you can get it any music that they're hustling music on. It's really a good listen. As for me, tonight we got Mistress K, who is coming from a gig. So, you know, basically I got to hold down the fort until she gets here, which wouldn't be too hard. I did a comedy at the Ice House on Saturday night where I opened 2 sold-out shows. Shout out to Nancy Bellany and her silly choo-choo comedy train. She usually has about 10 comedians that come on. Packed house every single time that I've performed there. She does an awesome job. It was hilarious at the various comedians. It's getting to a point where you just don't get up and just tell jokes. People bring props. They got all kinds of stuff going on. Music, props. I'm dying for the day. I have not seen too many really good impressionists. And that's something that I miss in comedy is the comedians. I saw Jay Farrow did an incredible imitation of Eddie Murphy. I think it was on Jimmy Kimmel. One of the shows, he gotten up and done that. But I'm like reeling on the heels of everything that's in the news, the hot topics on Honey's Closet, which is before me. Honey, you sitting in with me, right?
Yes, I don't know. Am I doing this right? The red button?
Only in LA do you have the you get your radio shows, you can run it while your board guy runs an Uber run.
Yeah, right.
Because he's making the big bucks.
So now I'm producing.
That's it.
I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I'm here.
You got a lot of buttons there that you could possibly push.
I know. Let's hope I don't eject us out of here.
Right. Well, there was a big, I have to talk about some of the stuff that I saw today on Instagram. They are tearing up whoever Jennifer Hudson's stylist is because she had on those sandals with their corn dog toes or topping toes, or she had corns on them. And like, it just amazes me how nothing gets by the paparazzi cameras as to, like, they're dissecting you under a microscope. And I would think somebody as big as Jennifer Hudson, as far as where she is star status-wise, would have a very capable stylist who would have said, "No, man, we got to do some closed toes for those toes which are not actually, think about that, ready for Oscar night." It was just, I don't know, it could be me, but I wouldn't want that. That's the unbearable thing about, well, if you become famous and you do anything within a certain lighting or look a certain way or walk out of, somebody's going to call you out on it. So I just saw that on the internet. They had a blast with that. And who was the guy in the dress? The skirt, the incredible
Billy Porter.
Oh man, that was, I have to say, I was like, man, I'd wear that. That was a fine looking outfit. And he wore it pretty damn well too. As we're learning how to run the board. Now, my guest tonight, she does, Mistress K does her thing on her show. She gives sex advice. Also, she is going to bring Tyrone, I believe, or not. Whatever props she brings in, I am solely not responsible. So I don't want to hear anything from anybody. All I know is as a comedian, she has an incredible, shall we say, confidence that, you know, you have to be a woman who basically is going to go out in front of an audience and start telling her jokes and bringing out props as it is. So it's like the whole thing with her. I did, as I said, a gig with her at the Ice House. And I will say this much. There's always the parking in L.A., You know how you go and you pull into a spot and it says reserved for, and you're like, yeah, nobody's going to come, right? It's got to be after hours. And then all of a sudden, somebody's knocking on your windshield, telling you, they ask you, you parked here? And of course, my response is like, no, I'm not parked. I'm waiting for somebody, basically waiting to see if I can get caught or not for parking in this parking space, because there is nowhere unless you're going to pay like ridiculous amounts of money, which I think one night it was $30 to park. I went to a gig, and I mean, I'm sorry, but that's like insane. The next time I will take Uber, right? So tell me, bored people, we got this all down back here?
I think so. We might be good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And that was the big topic for you tonight was you actually touched on a few things, but the R. Kelly thing, you swept him out of the closet.
Yeah,
which is something new that you're doing.
So, Honey's Closet, we now have the MOP Award, which is a MOP is a term of endearment. So if I call it like, hey, MOP, that means that's love.
Is that new?
Well, we've been using the term MOP for a long time.
Okay.
But people are like, well, why you call me a MOP? Or what's a MOP?
Right,
so
I wouldn't know.
We decided to just go ahead and use it in the show because we say it, especially with Jock, we say it so much. He calls all of us MOPs, and we call him a MOP. So he never calls me Honey or nothing. It's always, hey, MOP. Even when he texts me, hey, MOP, where you at? So we decided to incorporate it into the show. So we gave Regina King the MOP Award of the night for winning Best Supporting Actress for
She
Beale
was
Street.
phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Great speech.
Phenomenal. We gave it to, as well as Spike Lee.
Uh-huh.
And then we have the broom.
Well, he gave quite a speech, too.
Yeah, he did. And your president is upset with him because he said it was a racist speech. Anyways.
Really?
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Which president?
Your president.
He's not my president.
Well,
when you said your president, I thought you were talking about former President Obama, because that's
my president.
That's my president.
No, well then some folks
don't relate.
Orange, Agent Orange.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan.
He said it was he said his exact words was he's being racist against your president.
Oh well. How's it feel, Donald?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna come over there and build a wall around the. Oh, there already is one.
Yeah.
And saying that
he's an idiot.
But there was a lot, like they said it was, other than, there was the second least watched award show in history.
The Oscars?
Yes, the Oscars
really?
were. And they said it had the smallest audience, the second smallest audience in Oscar history.
And it was the first time in a long time that I actually watched an award show from beginning to end, because I normally don't watch them anymore because they're so dry.
Well, no, I heard that if you missed it, that you missed a really good show, that it was a big surprise. It was
actually pretty decent.
But that's where the media hype, this is what's funny about it, the media hype can actually work against the people that basically are running it, because, like the big controversy that happened killed a lot of viewers, right? Gave everybody a bad taste anyways. And a lot of people really wanted to see Kevin do it, and then he decided to bounce out. So there was all this stuff going on around it.
Didn't have any hosts.
Right. So no one probably expected it to be the show that it turned out to be. Mm-hmm. I mean, from what I understand, Lady Gaga's, that's a huge to-do, because it was like she was looking at him. They have chemistry. Well, my feeling is like, okay, well, they're also professional performers, and you will have chemistry. I mean, that's a known fact. In order for the characters to work, there has to be some chemistry. But I think a lot of that was just...
It has to be sexual chemistry.
No, I just think there was a lot of professional respect for each other.
I was going to say, I think they have a professional respect for each other. And this movie meant so much. And for it to be her and Bradley Cooper, and because he's an actor, we don't know him as a singer.
But it's so much of that. Now, this is what I said. There's so much of that, like, let's... build these people up. We adore them, and yet we're bloodthirsty, like, watching the lions eat. No, that the fact that we love to actually strip them and watch them just destroy them. Yeah. I mean, think about that. Think about how cruel.
People are never happy, because if they didn't have chemistry, then we'll be like, they sucked.
Right.
And because they do have chemistry, and it works.
It's a big controversy. How could she do that? A girlfriend was in the front row, and it's just like...
Okay, well, just because somebody has I didn't think it was... First of all, you're singing a song of love and passion. You can't sing it and be away from each other and act like you hate each other.
Right, and also think about what it meant. You're singing a song that's been nominated for an Academy Award. So all of those emotions, everybody wants to funnel into misreading it and make a big, because, it's all about, if there isn't controversy, who gives a shit?
But I can add
Right?
controversy to it, though.
What do you think?
It is mighty funny that she
broke off her engagement
with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
So you think he's gonna come and do some,
I'm thinking that might be. I'm thinking. I heard a doorbell.
I heard a doorbell.
And then
is Lee gone?
Yeah, I think he did fly out.
Hey, let me go check the door. Did he lock us in?
No, she just doesn't. It says ring the bell.
Okay.
On the door. So we're going to be bringing out our guests, but yeah, it's been interesting to see all the controversy over that. It's always maybe it's kind of nice to be kind of low key and nobody knows your name, because man, do they want to tear you up? Speaking of tearing things up, all right, and now coming to the main stage. This is the first time I've actually leave that open a little bit. This is actually the first time I've seen her without a blue, pink, or bright yellow wig. Come over here and sit your little booty down. This is my board guy's out, but this is Honey from Honey's Closet. She's actually running some of that.
Hi. Mistress K, nice to meet you.
Now, you coming from a gig?
I am. I just, I did a open sex talk.
Did you really?
With some college students.
Well, closed sex talks I hear are getting rated all the time, but just could be me. Did you really?
Yeah.
And how does that work into, because you're a nurse?
Yep.
So you come with that, but, I want you all to know that I am a nurse.
Yes.
I can take care of any bruising or seeping or anything or any questions.
Yes, just don't ask me to look at any bumps.
That's it.
I'm not diagnosing you with any STDs or anything.
And I don't touch rashes myself. I see that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, man. So being that, it's such a contrast because we worked together on Saturday night.
Yep.
At the Ice House. That was a blast. Fun. Always and I want you to know this one's standing in front of a group of school teachers and in the front a group of Asians. And this woman comes out in a flaming blue wig like the picture on Instagram shows. And she's waving Tyrone. You didn't bring Tyrone, did you?
I did. I brought all my toys.
All right,
I didn't know what.
Who is Tyrone?
Do you want you to introduce her to Tyrone? Yeah. So, I wish I had Lee here to play some music as we break out Tyrone.
You better call Tyrone.
I also brought Walter.
She brought Walter too.
In the house. Walter's in the house.
Walter won't falter.
Walter won't falter.
That's right. They come in their own little wrap bags. That's right. And
nobody likes a dirty cock. So.
No. Oh my God. All right. Okay, wait a minute. Are we seeing these on film? Do you guys actually?
Hold them up, baby.
All right.
See, the camera's right in front.
Is that Tyrone?
Call Tyrone. All right. Do we have to? Oh, well, every white man just shrunk away from the screen. That's it. That damn Tyrone.
This is
bringing it home with Tyrone.
The size difference.
The size difference, yes, we did do that. There was actually a young man who was trying to get her to understand, well, this looks really big. It was Ron T.
Yeah.
And then she pointed out, well, you need to put that at an angle. There's a difference. Like you measure a flat screen, obviously straight across.
Oh, yeah.
Is different than the diagonal.
Like, how about this?
That was what he was doing. Yeah.
Or no, he was going like this. He's like, I'm the same size.
Yes, Ron T. You'll be forever remembered for saying that. And it even has a nice, the scrotum sac because the model penis wasn't enough.
Well, yeah. I mean,
in teaching,
if you're gonna have a dick, you might as well have like a purse to go with it. That's
it. Now, does that come with a belt that an accessorized you can actually attach it to?
No, that's separate. But it does come with like the suction cup. It's like virtually foolproof.
So, really? So you would put it on the wall? Or?
The wall, your fridge. So when you're getting snacked, you're getting pegged from behind.
I don't know about you guys.
Wait,
yes.
Say that again.
I put it on the fridge door for my roommates just as a shock and awe thing. But then I thought, like, how do you fuck yourself, right?
Right.
So if you put this on the door of your fridge
and just back into it
and move the door on your fridge, it does the work for you.
Look at this girl, always thinking, that's it.
I got way too much fun.
You gotta come on. You gotta have helpful hints. Right. I
from your local sex peddler.
From your local sex peddler. Hey, that's like I told her, toys for twats. That's that's a big business.
Yeah.
I mean, my idea was to work with a limousine company. It's when I was in Boston. I seriously was
Yeah.
trying to get the company name Toys for Twats. And I wanted to have my extremely beautiful gay men friends because a woman feels very comfortable around a gay man, and they would actually demonstrate and answer any questions and what have you. And we also had a menu, you know, the bologna sandwiches, the I'm a big sausage for you, you know, all kinds of things that we were laughing at as to like how we could do, because what was happening was wedding, the girls' bachelorette parties were becoming boring, and all the girls wanted to step it up and do something different other than, you know, cock pops and what have you. And I would think that now, do you do shows?
I do.
It?
I do private shows, and it's funny that you even mentioned that, because I did do a bachelorette party in a limo on the way from Worcester all the way to Boston. So 45 minutes, I showed like toys in a limo until they got out at the club.
Oh my God, that must have been hilarious.
It was insane. Like, these bitches were fucking toe up.
Well, yeah, they were probably like, we don't need a man. We're going to go back to our limo with dildos, and we're all
They were like, do we
set."
have to go to the club? Like,
Yeah.
we just want to... I was like, no, this is not a gangbang, like, bachelorette party sitch.
You know, and if you want to go to dinner, you have to have the rest of the man. But, you know, in the
Yeah.
meantime, take this home.
I know. Well, they love the remote control one that you can put in your underwear.
Oh, is that the butterfly? Or is that the ladybug?
No, but it's similar on that premise.
Okay.
This one doesn't look like any kind of, like, foreign creature that really shouldn't be in your twat. It's literally just like a device that kind of looks like a pad, almost like a maxi pad, and it goes around your underwear. And the remote control, you can give it to your partner, and it goes up to like 30 feet.
Woo!
So, like, you could be sitting on the opposite end of the bar,
And he can
this
be
guy's just
controlling
like,
that.
Click, click, click.
Now,
click,
see,
and you're
that would be sexy. I would think if you
you're
was
a man, maybe.
yeah, if you and your man were doing something like that. No, there's no insertion. She don't like that insertion stuff. But it's really kind of funny because being in a sex store, right? This was hilarious. I'm in a toy store, and I pick something out, and I says, you know, at the time my accent, I'm like, you know, I'm gonna wait here. I was mortified through the whole process. I'll wait here. And I said, you can bring it up and you can pay for it. Well, of course, because it's non-refundable, they have to put the batteries in to make sure it works before you leave.
Yeah,
and all
girl,
you could hear
nobody
from the
buys
other
battery
side
toys
of the
anymore.
store with whatever, I was like, yeah, take this. All right, yeah, you could hear that. I'm like, I'm glad
like a
I'm not
chainsaw
standing
starting
there.
up.
Yeah, this is going to work really good for the little lady.
You know, that's honestly one of the things that I tell women. They go, well, what's the difference between buying it in the store and buying it through a consultant like me? And I said, well, you don't have that creepy man that's been watching porn all day in a store touch your vibrator before it leaves the store.
Right, or just watching to see what you're going through and what you're
yeah,
picking out.
or
Because there's the creeper in the video aisle.
Yeah, exactly. You
Right?
don't have any of that shame or that judgment or any of that nonsense. And you also have somebody that has tested the product several times, by the way, and can tell you the ins and the outs and what's going to work for you in what situation, and it just gives you more of that intimate. That intimate setting where you can be like, hey, so this is what I like to do.
Right.
And I'm like, that's cool.
Okay, so this is my question. So when you test the product yourself, so I'm sure you're very fluent in it. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So when you're with a guy, it's kind of like, do you ever think like, you're not even better than my toy?
Girl, I say that to people all the time. Like, don't make bad decisions at 3 a.m. Go home to your dildo.
Or what's his name again?
This is Tyrone. This is Walter.
Don't let me go get Tyrone or Walter because...
I have a Romeo. He's like the mixed version. We don't really know what he is.
He's the light skin brown.
He's the lighter, light skinned.
He could be Latino.
He could.
He can be Arab.
I mean,
He
could
can
be. Well, he's definitely not Asian.
Don't go there. A lot of Asians be like,
I'm not saying nothing because I don't see. I'm gonna shut up.
Well, here's
turn
the
my
thing.
mic down.
Here's the thing, though. I always I always say that it's like a little egg roll, but no, but really, honestly, like the biggest question that I get asked through my Instagram or through my YouTube, like social media, is guys are always asking me, what's the appropriate size for a woman? And I'm like, there's really no answer to that question. It's a matter of preference for the women. And I was like, if you're thinking about it in terms of anatomy based, in reality, the man only has to have a 3-inch dick. because from the vaginal opening to the female
This is a nurse
G-spot
now.
is 2.5 inches.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
2.5 inches. So if
that's
you're
why
3,
you-
And
you're
a lot
there.
of small
Nurse as
men
well.
just went, yes,
Yeah.
yes, to
And I
hear
mean,
that.
it's an angles game at that point, but you know, like you can work with 3 inches and be happy.
I
He
had
knows what he's doing.
I had a
Yeah,
friend of mine who was
obviously.
like, "Oh, I hope he's hung." And when he sent her a picture, she said it looks like a small toddler.
Yeah, like I can
I don't
honestly
wanna-
tell you some of the worst lovers I've ever had
we're
had
huge.
the biggest penises.
Right.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
they think they
they're
could,
not-
they
yeah,
don't know what
yeah.
they're doing. They just jam it
Slam
in
it
there
in
and
there
think
and think that's it for the day.
But
Well,
have you ever had somebody that was small and
Yeah.
so you got ready to be with them and you're like, this is not going to work?
no, because it was always a pleasant surprise that usually those men knew a lot about a lot of other pleasurable things and how to work it. Like my little old lady friend that said to me, just remember, darling, it's not the size of the wand, it's the magic in it.
Oh.
I don't know.
You
Maybe
know?
it was my ignorance. I met a guy before, this was years ago, like probably 25 years ago, and he was so small. And I go, I don't watch Sesame Street
Well,
anymore.
he
I
might
don't
have-
do Tickle Me Elmo
yeah,
when
that's
I
it.
left. I don't do Tickle Me Elmo when I left.
See,
But
I always
good.
looked at it like this. It's not the length, it's not the size, it's how many times you can make her rise.
Oh!
I'm a greedy bitch. Like once I get the first one out, I'm like, okay, let's
So
do
what's
this.
up with that with guys only like one time? It's like, okay,
And they're
nah.
good,
Yeah,
right?
where
I'm
you
good,
get
baby.
this
What,
shit from?
what you got to eat?
Motherfucker
What
better
you
have
got
their
to eat?
wheeze.
You ain't did enough
Now
work
wait,
for it
I
now.
had a queen tell me, if you're with a brother, don't feed him before you get with him because he'll fall asleep on your ass. The worst thing you can do is feed them. This is a queen, and I'm like, isn't that all men? Isn't that all men?
Yeah,
No.
yes,
You don't want to
think
feed
so?
them? No.
No, I know from experience.
Oh.
Not to like tell you my body count or anything, but it's up there. And
She said, but it's up there. And
yeah, I'm a connoisseur. I'm a connoisseur of the
love
sexual
her. She's a cockaseur.
relations.
I love her.
And I'm a person that I don't like to put myself into any category. I just like if it feels good, it can't be wrong type of thing. But I also know that it depends on the person that you're with and what you're into. Like if you're into some freaky shit, it really doesn't matter what size penis they have. It's just like, can you get me off? And this is how you're going to get me off. And this is what you're going to
Right,
do.
to be sexually compatible. Like my friend, I said, oh my God, I thought the guy was going to choke me. And she was like, ooh. I'm like, seriously? She goes, oh, I love it when I get choked and put against the wall. And, you know, some people are into some like,
No, I don't want to see death though.
yeah, but, you know, I was like, ooh.
I want it to be good. I can be as freaky as
But
the next, but I don't want to be
that's
like,
why I
choked to
said
death
it's very important that the person that you're with, all right, that, you know, there's a lot of things about, you know, how freaky are you?
Well, that's why you should have that discussion when you meet someone.
Right.
Once it gets to the point that
What are you
we
thinking
think
about?
we're going to go there. Okay, so what do you like? What's the
Right.
nose and what's the you know?
Well, the idea of even having that conversation is like do men ask you what you prefer?
Hell no, men don't
Right.
ask. They just
Because
think
don't
they
think
have.
about it.
Okay, so people have a set of skills, right? I always say like you got to teach these old dogs new tricks or just tricks for you. Because guys come with a inherent list of skills or tricks that they've done to other lovers in the past where they think that is like it's
The
like
end
a
all.
one and done situation.
Right.
Like all women are created equal. I'm sorry, no. But like clitorises are different sizes.
Yep.
Vaginas are different sizes.
Sensitivity is different.
Labias, lips, like everything is different. And what works on one person isn't what's suited for the other.
Okay, so I have a question. And this is for both of you guys. And I'm just gonna I can't believe I'm even asking this on radio, but for me, I have a very hard time having an orgasm. Like I cannot have an orgasm through actual penetration.
So
So
you're
is it because I'm not concentrating? Because someone said
No.
you're not concentrating.
No,
What is
he-
the problem?
The person isn't getting you to be aroused to the point of where everything. When you're aroused to that point where even just your hair's standing up on edge, that ability to massage.
But
and-
I have been aroused. I just don't never. And I don't know if it's because I'm not comfortable. Is it because?
well, you did say. I mean, some of the stuff you were enlightened to, not even wanting to wear a tampon. By the way, she did say that. I didn't, but you said that.
don't wear a
And the
tampon.
idea of inserting, maybe you got a little bit of a phobia of like this foreign
no,
object.
not when it's a penis though.
Okay.
I don't have a phobia of a penis.
well, okay, so you're not wrong, but there's also this thing called 80-20 rule. And it's not just in terms of dating. Like if you saw that Tyler Perry's you know, why do people get married? That they talked about 80-20 rule in terms of dating. But when it comes to sex, women, we fall into two categories. 80% of women, which is my box, have to have some kind of external stimulation in order to have an orgasm. That's 80% of us.
So that would make you...
penetration alone isn't going to cut it. So guys who are just like, you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this isn't doing anything for me.
Right.
So that's 80% of us. The people that are in the opposite box, I envy so much because they're the 20% where they can just like a stiff breeze.
Hump a doorknob, right.
A stiff breeze or
right.
like a little vibration on the bus.
What do we have to do to get that? Because I feel like my ex, I feel like the only way he can do that was through oral, and I would feel bad. Like, I hate
Yeah, but you would have had that conversation. If you weren't being pleased, eventually you have to have the conversations. I need, and if you don't have somebody on the other end going, I want to please you, because see ya.
Well, no, he did. So that's why he was like, okay, the only way I seem to be able to do this is this way, so I'm going to make sure I do it. So he would always do it, but I felt bad, like, I want to be able to do it.
Well, how much of that, like, kissing would you rate? To me, it's like, I can't get past anything if you ain't
passionate than actual penetration.
Sex. I read a study that said that sex is 85% cerebral, meaning that you have to be mentally in it, and then the rest is just mechanical, meaning like insertion, and your body just reacts. So it's really how you set things up, and you know, you're not alone. Like, everything that you're saying right now, I've heard from so many women. Like, it's just like I could write a book on this topic,
right. How
to be honest.
surprised are you at how many women fake an orgasm?
Everybody fakes one at one point.
Yeah. No.
And it's like a
at
pity
one point,
thing,
but
I
I'm
think.
saying, like, women that have said that way, you know, they get to a point. Now, this is like, to me, would be would you like your room in hell? To be with somebody that you actually, in your mind, was like, I'm just going to fake this because hopefully he'll finish. You know, the same.
I mean, I think people do lots of different things for their partners or just as a comfort level. But in the end, it's not doing you any justice to fake it. Because you're still
and we had that
there
conversation.
Going,
well, why wouldn't you have an open... They said it's one of the shortest and hardest conversation is for people to actually sit down and tell each other what they sexually desire on an honest level. The man feels like he might want too much. It's going to freak her out. And she feels like there's something about... what, you know, it's freaky that she might want.
So this is literally a topic I just talked about tonight with young kids, because I do this bit in my comedy where, like, when I was a young bitch, I would just lay there and take it. Like, I wouldn't tell you, oh, a little to the left, a little to the right, bing, bing, you're good. I would just lay there and take it. Now in my 30s, I'm like, motherfucker, you better put some oomph into that. Like, you better get in that crevice. Like, what the hell? You know?
Yeah, you better be working that shit right here now.
But I think it's a level of not only comfortability, but you have to have that conversation. It's uncomfortable for anybody at any age. And there are a lot of tools to combat that awkwardness. And one of the things that you can combat awkwardness in terms of the sexual realm is role play and sexual fantasies. You'd be like, what's your sexual fantasy? You know, what are you into? There also is like a lot of checklists online that you can like download, and you can be like, hey, let's look through these things. Have you ever done this? Have you ever done that? Do you know what this is?
But aren't you amazed, even when you're on stage, at how awkward people are about how to, you know, how to basically receive, even the humor you said, no, you're not, like you'll say, no, you're not having a what do you say, delusional or a vision, this is actually real, or I'm actually this.
Yeah.
But in saying that, to get over that, permission to laugh at, especially when you pulled out Tyrone, people are like, whoa, where's this going exactly? And you're very in your face when you talk about stuff on stage during your comedy act. And it's like, there's this like permission slip. I actually think you should do that. This is your permission slip. Before you even start, you can laugh. It's okay to laugh.
Well, I think it's really funny that in today's day and age, people are still like, sex is still a taboo topic.
Which is so weird because
I'm like, somebody fucked your mom for you to be here, dude.
Well, yeah, but it's not just that. It's like I really do feel that's a lot that lies behind all this bullshit that's going on that you're seeing in the social media is like, if we just, this is the only country too is so fucking uptight about sex. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
As far as our own sexuality goes, where they, in other countries, young kids are so, they know so much about sex before, you know, in the other nations, was it Amsterdam, I want to say, is another
Yeah.
one, that it's not like, ooh, I got to go out and have sex because everybody's telling me not to.
Well, think about it. Vegas is the only place where prostitution and brothels are even legal.
We were talking about this.
Yeah.
So,
And you know why that is. They don't want you as a woman. Just think of all the power we'd have if we all were like,
of course.
Yeah.
I mean, here, you know, I tell people that all the time, like the powers with the pussy. It's that people don't know how to, you know, people don't know how to hold on to that power and use it to their advantage. And then the women that are really crafty at using it, we, as a society, shame them and call them sluts or whores to make them feel bad, when in reality, we should be celebrating these women,
yep,
you know?
for calling the shots.
You know, like,
Because men have been doing it
strippers,
for years.
If you've ever gone to a strip club, those women are some of the craftiest, savviest people you will ever meet.
They know how to
Why?
market
Because they
it.
can rub a guy out of their money so quick that they're like, oh, I had to pay rent, you know, have a wife and kids at home. And they're like, oh, baby, come on, let me sit on your lap real quick. And then the money is gone.
And he's singing, I'm a tipper.
yeah,
I'm
and he had a
big
great
tipper.
time.
That's
And he
funny.
just got duped. Like, I love going to strip clubs.
Wait, but that's been, I mean, you do realize, if you know the history of nations, Helen of Troy, all that, women have altered history based on men fighting, and very manipulative women. Cleopatra was another one, very powerful woman. And I don't know what happened to us somewhere along the line. You know, like I said, I actually said to a black friend of mine, I don't know when did white males become the superior race, when it's obvious they're the most fucked up group of people. Asked me for a mass shooting. I mean, I'm sorry, I just don't see
Yeah.
anybody else doing this stuff. And mass.
But I think it's because of organized religion, because organized religion has a lot to do with downplaying women and women's sexuality.
True.
And it's made it look like a negative thing. Now, if you look at the early 1800s,
Service to the husband.
yeah, if you look at the early 1800s, women that had any kind of sexuality outside the social norm were labeled as witches, or were cast and said that they had hysteria.
Yeah, that's right. Hysteria.
We have
She
hysteria.
has it. They'd send you away.
They would send
They
you.
would send you
to
away
these
when you get your
clinics.
period. You're hysterical. You gotta go.
Yeah.
Your insides are falling out of you. We
Yeah.
don't want any part of that. Come back when you're all done. So
They'd
I mean,
send
that
you
was
to these
true too.
clinics, and these men would literally digitally stimulate women and finger them until they came. And then the guy was like, "Oh, you're cured. We'll see you next week." And the only reason, we had a vibrator, by the way, before we had vacuum cleaners, but the only reason why that came about was because these doctors were getting so tired of doing this to so
They were
many women
exhausted.
that they started building vibrators as a device to basically take on more patients and to get paid more money.
To get rid of the hysteria. So there
Hysteria.
is some truth to, like, oh girl, your problem is you just need to get laid.
Yeah.
Right? And that goes for men too.
Well, that's why I don't understand.
It's a
especially
release.
with married people. That when you hear, I went to a like a group thing for married couples one time, and the women were like, I can't go to work and come home take care of the kids and fuck my husband too. And so I'm listening to all these women say the same thing, and I had to stand. I'm like, that's the reason why your men cheat. That's exactly why we're here, because people do it. You have to take care of your man. In
Right.
the Bible, it says your husband comes first.
Wait, but you
Right.
mean literally?
But no, literally. Well, yeah, literally. But I'm sick of women thinking that now if he's a loser, you shouldn't be with him no way. But you're supposed to, take care of your husband. I get sick and tired of women saying, "Well, I'm tired and I had to work." For me, if I have a headache, give me sex. It's gonna take away.
Yeah,
my headache.
my girlfriend. Hey, Madeline McBride. Yeah, I definitely got hysteria.
I think sex cures a lot of things. Headaches. If you're tired.
Oh, my
If you
goodness.
don't feel good. If you're stressed out, get you
If you're-
laid, and
if
you're
you're
gonna feel
feverish,
so much better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Or-
bedside little friend. My sister's hilarious because she said that. She goes, "Oh, Jesus Christ." She said to me, I dress mine up in little outfits, call it the mystery. So he's a mystery date of the week.
Yeah. I call it a boyfriend in the
Right?
box, but
But
me.
in all honesty, the idea of women being so open about their sexuality. Now, I'm going to tell you, our generation, these younger, as you spoke to them, something 20-year-olds, there is no line that women, men, they enter
gender
they
fluidity.
gender fluidity as far as their sexuality goes, and because it's so, as I said, you see it. Social media everywhere. Everything is about. That's what blows me away. Is like you've got sex images, marketing, magazine, everything coming at you 24/7, right? And yet, if you go to talk about it, it's not comfortable.
The
It's
thing
like,
too is the media does a terrible job of portraying actual real sexuality. Like if you look at porn, okay, porn is not an adequate representation of people fucking. Okay, like
Wait, have
I'm
you ever been
but-
with a guy that you could tell by the way he was doing his thing that he was
Watching
educated?
from porn?
Yeah, right, porn.
Of course, because he's like a jackhammer. It's like,
Right.
"Dang, dang, dang, dang," and you're like, oh, no.
Right.
What are you doing?
Well, they call it smashing, I think. We used to call it pounding.
Yeah.
You guys have the word smashing. Nothing
Cracking.
sounds...
I don't know.
Cracking.
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't know what they call it anymore. It's like,
Right?
It's just to be sex. I don't know what it's
But if you
called.
think about it, they're unrealistic beauty expectations. If you look at these porn stars, you know, none of them have wrinkles or like anything kind of, you know, they all get those big balloon fake tits that don't move, you
That
know, but they
don't.
go, oh, and you're like, bitch, you can't even feel your nipples. They're not real.
But I will say this, and I can't say I haven't seen them all. But if you look at the black porns, I used to always say, where do they get these black porn stars from? Because they be having stretch marks, and they're like more realistic.
Oh,
Well, there is the more realistic porn nowadays is it's called feminist porn, and the reason being is it's real people with real bodies,
Yeah.
and it's built on the premises of when you take a man's pants off, his penis isn't erect. I'm sorry, but you actually have to work to get that to happen. You know, also you are seeing now more images of people actually using, you know, condoms or lubricant or sex toys, which you wouldn't see that before. You would
Right.
just see a woman just sit there and
well,
take it and love
wait,
it.
don't you like what? The scene where they come in and they rip each other's clothes off and he slams her against the wall, bang, 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 and she's like, ah! Yeah, and that I'm like, really?
Yeah.
The drive-through window sex, like, really?
Yeah.
What woman? Okay, well, this is not okay. This is not the norm, but every single movie portrays, of course, and the man's saving the day, and women are helpless. But whatever, you know, it's all illusion.
Well, why is it always done after the men come? Like when a man comes, that's the end of the
everything's done.
movie. That's the end of
That's
the
it,
porn.
that's it.
Like you never see the woman go, and now you got to finish me. Like you never see that. That's
But
the
why
case.
is that? That
Do you
most
bring
of it is
back
about,
up?
Here's the thing that makes me mad with some of these porns. It's always the woman getting the man off. What about the man? Like now they have these porns on Facebook now. I get these videos sent to me by my friends, and it's like the guy and a girl, and he's always getting his jollies off, but she's never getting hers. And I'm like, why are these women so stupid? Like, why are you like?
I think
don't get
also
it.
though, like if you talk to, I know I've talked to a lot of women. There are a lot of women that don't like oral sex, and the reason,
What?
Where the
Yeah,
hell they
I
come
know,
from?
right?
We should send them to Mars.
Shudder. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Get rid of those.
Well,
bitches.
it's
Get rid of them
obvious
bitches.
nobody's ever done them right.
Exactly. That's what it is. Or they haven't told their partner exactly what they want, so it was just like, meh, this is a hit or a miss.
Let me ask you this: the greatest pickup line that you will ever give somebody credit for. Has anyone ever said anything that you were like, that was good?
Yeah, the guy that I'm dating now.
Oh,
He walked right up to me in a bar. I was dancing, right? He walked right up to me and he goes, I saw you. I've been watching you dance. He's like, I looked at you. I saw you. I knew I needed you and I wanted you. And I was like, okay, serial killer. I'm into it.
Is he a brother?
He is.
All right. Because I'm telling you, because I don't know what it is, but yeah, I thought, yeah. I think I was sitting across from a guy and he looked at me, you know, you lock eyes for a minute and he smiles and he says, you know, they tell me I'm brilliant in bed. If you know what I mean. And I thought, wow, that's quite a compliment, yo. Brilliant. That's something to live up to. Yet to see that happen because, you know, I talk to a lot of women about how many men that you've actually had tell you how great they are. Because they all act like they're going to do you a favor. Look, I have a penis. Okay, great. And I'm always like, I'm going for the mind. Because to me, it has to be first here, as I said, then a connection here, and then maybe we'll talk about here. Because everybody does it reverse. Like my friend was like devastated because she meets a guy, she's passionately crazy about him, they hook up, they have great sex, he doesn't call her again. I said, well, I personally think, you know, sometimes...
She gave up her power too quick.
Right. Sometimes you got to understand, if you let them read the last page of the book, they don't fucking want to bother with the rest of the story. They already know how it ends. You gave them away the prize.
So
that's it.
there is a great book that every single woman or single person should read, because it's not gender specific, but it's called Love Factually. I forget the name of the author, but she has this section of the book saying how like you should date as if you were going on a job interview or you were hiring somebody for a position. Like you should literally have a repertoire of like exactly the qualities that you're looking for and go through them.
Right.
Because if you base it all on the physical attributes or just sex, you're going to be temporarily satisfied, but in the long run, you're missing out on things. And she also has this section of the book where she calls them BTNs, which are those people that you just bang and they're better than nothing. That's what a BTN is.
Better than nothing. That I could see, a whole line of T-shirts.
Yeah, and people say, well, it's a friends with benefits situation, but what people don't realize is it's actually, she talks about it takes up more of your energy to be with somebody that you're not totally 100% into than if you just took that time out for yourself and to find somebody that actually want to focus all your attention.
I appreciate that. The idea of having somebody... when people say having a conversation that was, basically my girlfriend calls it, that's real oral sex to me.
Yeah.
When the person sitting in front of me has got I'm exhausted. I've had the most incredible conversation, the most intimate moment. And then there is the idea of slow touching, massage, getting slowly in. Like, what's a big hurry?
Well, one of the techniques that sex therapists use for couples that have been together forever is they do this exercise where it's a 7-day basically like you're off sex, and each day you have to do some kind of touching exercise where you get to almost to the point of climax and then you just stop. Ooh. And so that at the end of the 7 days you have all this sexual frustration so pent up that by the 7th day you had just like this amazing crazy sex. And what it does is it basically reteaches the brain about foreplay and how to sensually touch your partner and fuck them up without fucking them.
Right.
And I
see that whole thing about the idea of foreplay, and like I said, everybody's in such a hurry. You can tell the 30-second Instagram attention span.
Well, that's because we get dick pics after "Hi, how you doing?" or "Hey, dick pic."
Right.
You're like, what?
Well, yeah, that too. It's as I said.
What's your name?
Oh my God, a penis said no woman ever, unless it was detached from the body it came from on her front steps. So I don't know why men think that, because we're not visual. I mean, don't get me wrong, we like the way men look. But just because your abs are great and all that, you could sit next to us and we could say, I just don't know what it was about, and chemistry was kind of off.
Yeah.
Something about, I mean,
good
you
to
could talk
look at,
funny.
but dumb as a
right,
tack.
Dumb as a,
right.
yeah. I call them bag of hammers. But it's like, that being said, and any of you guys out there, I'm kind of reading some of my my comments. Any of you guys want to call in? That number's up on the screen.
424-227-946. Wait a minute, but okay.
What, you don't know how to use a phone?
Well, we'll figure it out, I guess.
Hilarious. My
just
boy
call
guy
in just to
running
fuck
out,
with us, guys.
He went running out to do
I know
Uber.
It's one of these.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Y'all can call in.
Yeah, you see that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. There's something. I mean,
yeah, we ain't gonna go there. I'm not gonna worry about it. But the idea too. All right, there is also. Is it true that as a woman age, her vagina grows?
Wait, say that again?
Grows,
like your nose and your ears.
Well, it atrophies, so it doesn't necessarily grow.
So you better keep doing those
tones.
It grows.
What did you
the
say?
Vagina wall.
Woman what?
As she ages.
Oh,
So your vagina is just kind of like the wingspan that you get on your arm, like that flabby. Yeah,
right.
That's what happens to your vagina, like your pelvic floor.
Have you seen the egg?
Yeah,
that's
for Kegel exercises. So you really don't need an egg. You can do it just alone.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do it in the privacy of your own body. Kegel, every woman's friend.
Everybody do it too right now.
That's it. All right. So and rest. That's it.
So stressful.
But there is this thing about the idea of being also the taboos, like people saying, as far as you age, this will happen. I don't know about you. My appetite is as it always was. So I really don't know where that. And then they're like,
well, they say menopause. Menopause when it hits women because of your
right now.
Body's natural hormone levels. They bottom out. So you're not getting the amount of estrogen you're used to getting, and then like you get
your libido slows down.
Your libido slows down.
Mine haven't. Like I've been in my prime since I was like maybe 43. And I thought I was single most of that time. And I'm like, well, I had a boy, but he was
so you got to catch
distance.
up.
So I was like, okay, I got to use it. If I don't use it, but then he was you know, long
The
distance.
warranty.
So as I
gotta
got
use
older, I
it.
thought I'm gonna lose it. So now I'll be 51 in April, and I'm single now, but I'm still like, if I had a boyfriend, man, I'd tear some shit up. But I can't do random sex because I will kill somebody if I have sex with somebody and it's not.
Well,
I'm at that age now where you got to come correct or you're gonna lose a limb.
I agree with that. I also feel like that's unrealistic because, like I said earlier, men come with a certain skill set. People come with skill sets where they go, oh, well, so-and-so like this before. I've been doing this for ages.
Right.
You know, like you've really got to teach people specifically
Like one
what
size
your
fits
needs
all.
are. Yeah.
And that's it's like there is no two people who dance the same.
Right.
And
But
that's
there's
what
a
I put it
sexy
down
way to do it too, though.
Very much. Well, yeah, that the idea of getting, that to be that trust has a lot to do with it. And like she said, there has to be, casual sex. There's really, I don't care what anyone says, unless you're drunk off your ass, with that exception. But casual sex is for a selected few because most women, like the generation coming up, but like to me, it's just like, I'll take Tyrone home.
Yeah, well,
I could have said Walter, huh? And I did. I said
We already know
Tyrone.
you wasn't gonna say Walter Heffer. She always trying to act like. Don't even try to cover it
She
up.
been dictified.
Don't even cover it up.
That's it.
She's never. Walter is completely.
Unknown
Walter
to
is,
me.
is very acceptable. I mean, come on.
This Walter right here is cool because
Yeah.
I know some Tyrones that ain't working with Walter.
No, all right.
But I think for her, it's not the size of the thing.
It's the
just
color.
Yeah. I think she
It's
just,
it's just there's a
There's a swagger
there's a
attached.
swagger that I
there's some
can't.
white guys that got swagger though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's
There's
been a while
some-
I'm
since
gonna
I
tell you
met
who.
that.
If only if I.
You
No,
to
I'm
go
not
like
gonna lie.
movie star status, they have to have swagger. That's why they are where they
no,
are.
they don't. They have money.
No, they have. And there's some movie stars right now. I'd be like, I don't care how much money you got, you can't. I could like Terrence Howard couldn't get it at all, not at all. Bye.
He's
There's a-
out.
I could name a whole bunch of people. Like,
All right.
just not gonna happen. But I tell you who I will.
Okay.
That's white.
Okay.
And I know people gonna say, ew, but Eminem, I'll
Oh,
take
well.
him down.
I don't know
That's
who would
my
say
baby
oh,
daddy
but
right
yeah.
there. I'll
That,
take him. He can be smaller than Walter. I'll make it work.
that,
But now
that-
you're talking about attraction, which is a whole different thing.
No,
Right.
I don't even think.
Yeah.
I don't even look at his looks. There's something about him. I think because he's my favorite rapper. I
And-
just think he's just.
But
right,
that's an
but
attraction.
the idea
Okay,
of
yeah.
having that, like, have you ever been around somebody that you can't have? All right, you know you can't go there.
Isn't half the
but
appeal.
they call about sexual tension.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever experienced that where they kind of know it and you're kind of like denying it, but it's like right there, and you're like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
And then
had
you're just like,
several of
damn.
those.
Yeah.
And I'm like, your wife is so nice.
Yeah, right?
I'm like, call me when she's dead.
Yeah. and we can make that happen.
Right?
We can make
You wouldn't
that
be the
happen.
first
Oh my
woman.
God, are we making a pact?
Lifetime
I know his
movie.
address. Don't lie. Don't put
Right.
it
We can make that happen.
But there's for no known reason to you. There's some people that something happens that it's just an amazing connection.
Well, it's probably a lot of it has to do with also chemicals like pheromones.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people are attracted by a scent of a person and not really know where that comes
Right.
from, and that's pheromones or hormones that the body secretes.
Well, yes,
And you can smell
that's
it
a
at a
known
certain
fact,
level.
especially with women.
I know for a fact, like when I'm ovulating or I have my period, like I literally get hit on way more than I do when I'm not.
Yeah,
Like men inherently can smell it, and I'm like, God damn, like
Really?
Yeah.
it's like throwing blood in the water.
How
with
else
sharks.
would you?
Like,
How else would you guarantee the reproduction of a species? There has to be so many intricate details that have to be. Well, don't rule this out, and we'll need. It's extra on everything. Just think about how extra you feel about everything. Where that sensitivity, it's like I said, you could hump a doorknob, but as a woman in her prime or whatever, there's just something that guarantees that you're going to be attracted to somebody sexually because it's what your body's doing.
yeah,
It's
Well,
guaranteed that chemical.
It's funny. Before I met the guy that I'm dating now, I went on a dick cleanse. Right? It was just like I'm so fed up with men, just relationships in general, right? And I was just like, I can't do a woman. Like I've done that in the past. It's just not my thing, And I was like, I was just gonna take some time for myself and like just focus on what I want. And then of course, when I did that, I end up meeting somebody who's not only like my sexual, I wouldn't say equal, but he's pretty up there.
Well, wait, you hear that a lot. You hear a lot of people say that they met when
randomly.
Like
When
I
you're
was,
not looking,
it's
yeah.
like I just was done looking, and then boom, this happened, and I'm like, really? Because like I haven't been looking, or that I really do believe. For me, there's a lot of stuff that, oh my God, I knew I wasn't up for casual sex, because that, like she said, it was like, yeah, okay, it's like,
Yeah.
really.
See, I
They don't have to invest the effort.
I disagree. I really love a one night stand, like a good intrigue, like
Wait,
a great
but-
story where I never see you ever again, because that's usually where I bring all my freaky shit out.
See, I failed at that. I
Wait,
thought
but
you had
that you should be. You're only in your 30s,
Yeah,
right? But no.
I've been doing that for a while. I
Yeah,
can't
well,
believe my
wait, if you
30s.
still say that when you have this, like, how much dick I've seen in my life, you get to a certain point where dick is dick, But like I said, the idea of somebody like really tearing it up as far as my mind and my soul and my
And that's what I
Oof.
want. I want someone that I
Woo.
can just, when it's, first of all, my motto is if you have sex with somebody and you get up and go to the bathroom and you don't have some type of sensation, kick his ass out. You should be able to sit down and be like, oh shit, I can't pee. Like, I can pee, but you should be able to feel your urine like I feel it. If you don't feel no shit, kick his ass. Don't come back no more.
That's it, right?
I don't have time for that. So
I
that's
told
why
you this was for adults only.
Yeah.
Well, when I met my dude, I told him I was like, oh, I really like this guy. I was like, I could bang him tonight, but then I'd never hear from him ever again. So I told him, I was like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm not that type of girl that wouldn't bang the shit out of you right now. Because I totally would. But I said, I kind of like you. And if you like me, I was like, you're on a probationary period. And he's like, how long does this probation last? I was like, 30 days, motherfucker.
Oh, you did the 30-day thing?
Yeah,
That's
and
hilarious.
he waited, and let me tell you, it was totally worth it. It really was. And it was funny, but look, we did other things in the meantime, but we really got to, I mean, I wasn't a complete prude. Like,
Right.
oh, but like I saw him, maybe like the first 2 weeks, I saw him jack off in front of me, and I could feel it. Like I could feel a heartbeat in my clit when he did it, and I was like, "Oh God, this is bad."
Oh,
Like I was like, "This is
countdown to 30 days.
exactly." I was like, "Oh, I gotta stay strong." Like I was like, maybe I'll just break the rule for good behavior.
I wish people would, like I said, we got a few minutes before I got to wrap this up, but just saying this, if that's the thing, people, the sincerity, honesty, like you said, open communication, and have fun with it. And don't think that everything about you is your dick.
Yeah.
And for women to think that because they have that men aren't looking for anything outside of where's your mind and can you hold a conversation? Can you cook? For the love of God, do you people ever clean your room in those videos? Anyways, it's Annamarie, and I really want to thank my guest who came after her gig.
Thank you for having me.
You got her Instagram?
Yeah, Mistress K5. I'm on the gram, and if you want to check out me on YouTube, see my crazy videos or some of my toys, it's Hooked Up with Mistress K on YouTube. And if you want to just check out my website, it's mistressksway.com.
Check us out, honey. Big tipper. Thanks for watching, guys. See you out there.
If your service good, get a stag, yo. 50 grand, make your job disappear. I look the part, yeah, I look Davenir. Get my order right or I'ma bust a Yui. I don't like raw fish in my sushi. Want a big tip, better get the cooking. I am not paying you for all this lipping. Sapphire diamonds, yeah, they bluey. Put them around your neck, you look chewy. Blow 10 grand, please excuse me. Bless me real good, I need a hero cookie. I'm a tipper, I'm a big tipper. I'm a tipper, yeah, I'm a big tipper. I'm a tipper, I'm a big tipper. I'm a tipper, yeah, I'm a big tipper. Put up or shut up. Put up or shut up. I'm a tipper, yeah, I'm a big tipper. I'm a tipper, I'm a big
They say the
tipper.
rap game that I object, that's a low blow. Taking copycatting off each other, that's a no-no. Keep the original or just not even no show. I'm a big tipper, when I spend it, I'ma flip ya. So girl, drop it really low. Show them how we for the flow. Candy